Hey everyone, so today I want to share with you my top 5 books of 2014. These are 5 books that I read during that year. They didn't necessarily come out in 2014, but that's when I read them. So I'm going to be going from my least favorite to my most favorite and tell you a little bit about why I like them. So with that, let's begin. Coming in at number 5, I have Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I read this once in high school, but I decided to reread it last year because, 1, it's really short, and 2, I think it's really an important book for book readers and everyone in general to read. It was written about 50 years ago as a futuristic kind of story. It's very strange to look at the parallels between this book and the world we're living in today, and how similar they actually are. And it's also kind of scary to see how books are treated and how people are in general in this world. You really appreciate books. It makes you really appreciate knowledge and the ability to learn. So this was a really great book, and of course I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Number 4, of course, I had to add into this list, and that is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I did only give this 4 out of 5 stars because it wasn't a perfect book by any means, but it was a really good book. The characters were really great. It was a really emotional story. The progression of their relationship and the adventures that they go on was overall what made this book really good. Number 4 on my favorites list. Number 3, we have Life as We Knew It by Susan Beth Pfeffer. And this is an end of the world type of book, and it takes place just as shit's hitting the fan. It's told in diary format. The main character, Miranda, writes everything in her diary. I think it's a really realistic version of what would happen if something like this were to happen. The tensions, the relationships within it, all of it I think was just really realistic and really interesting to read about. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. It was a really fantastic read. It's pretty short, but very good, and I highly recommend it. Number 2 on my list is a very big one. It is Q-Teen 84 by Haruki Murakami. It is large, and this cover is like made of a really thin like tissue paper material. I can't even describe what it's about. The concept of it really is simple, but how everything is woven together, the characters, the plot, everything is really stunning and complex and weird. It is honestly a really weird book, and the world that Murakami portrays and writes in this book is just unlike anything really I've ever read before. And I am currently reading another book by him, and it's definitely something that is constant in his writing. It was really a good book, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. And finally, number 1 on my list is Hold Still by Nina LaCour. This is very simply a book about a girl whose best friend commits suicide and how she has to deal with it, and how she uses her creative outlets to deal with it, and forming these relationships with new friends and teachers, and really kind of like discovering the world in a new light. The writing was really nice. The characters were really great. There's a really great lesbian character in it that is not like cliche or stereotypical. What can I say? It was a really good book. And of course I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. So those were my top 5 books that I read last year. I have written reviews on all of them except Q-Teen 84 because that one is way too complex for me to write a whole review on, and that would just like take me forever to do. But I have reviews on all of the rest of them on my Goodreads and on my book blog if you want to find out more about them, find out more about how I feel about them. You can go ahead and check those out. And of course, I recommend all of these books. Some of them might be for different types of people. I think they're all fantastic books. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, got some new book recommendations, and will perhaps think about picking any of these books up. I will see you in my next video. Bye!